Welcome back, Raider Nation, to the Raider D podcast. Boy, do we have a crazy story that we're going to touch on today as we get started on the live stream on a Friday evening. Hoping all of you are having a fantastic time. If you are, jump into those comments as soon as you slide up into the podcast today and let me know where you guys watching from, where are you listening from? If you're just listening to it, are you at work? What state are you in? What country are you in? Because I know we have people from all over the world that jump onto the Raider D podcast comment section. So it's a lot of fun. But man, this story that we're going to be talking about today, as soon as we get a few more people up in here, we'll start touching bases on this. But it's pretty insane. I mean, I'm sure you guys already seen the thumbnail of Tyreek Hill standing in front of the Raiders press conference. And I got to tell you, man, if this were to happen, I know he's 30 years old. I know he's had a down year, but he also has had a quarterback who missed 4 or 5 games due to a massive concussion and all of that type of stuff. So if Tyreek Hill came to the Raiders, even at 30 years old, he would be such a massive upgrade to the X wide receiver position. If you combine him with Brock Bowers, Tyreek Hill on the other side, and Jacoby Myers as your slot receiver, look out, you've got a receiving core that is top-notch in the NFL. Now, how long that could last with Tyreek Hill, because, again, he is 30 years old, he is aging, but this dude is a Super Bowl champion. He is a winner. He knows how to get open. He knows how to work defenses. That would just be absolutely crazy. Now, we're going to get into this article that I want to read for you guys. Let me pull this up as we get going here. Share screen. Wow. Where'd I put it? Hold on. Okay, there it is. Yep, there it is. All right, now let me put that on screen for you guys. This is out of Sports Illustrated. If I can get this up on the screen. Let me get this. Come on. There we go. All righty. Yes. All right. We got it up on screen. All right, guys. So here's the report out of sportsillustrated.com. Report says Raiders name top trade destination for the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill. Could the Las Vegas Raiders swing a blockbuster trade with the Miami Dolphins to acquire superstar wide receiver Tyreek Hill during the NFL offseason? Now, here's what's going to get really interesting is what is proposed that this would only cost the Raiders. I was shocked, everybody. I was absolutely flabbergasted at the cost of this. It says the Las Vegas Raiders will enter the NFL offseason in dire need of help at wide receiver, and they will have plenty of cap space to handle the issue. But could the Raiders swing a blockbuster trade to fill the hole? Tyler Brook of the 33rd team feels that is a possibility. Brook put together a short list of teams that could potentially trade for Hill this offseason, and he listed Las Vegas among that group. As a matter of fact, Brook even put together a trade package suggesting that the Raiders send a 3rd-round pick and a 5th rounder in exchange for Tyreek Hill. Assuming that Las Vegas Raiders take Shadeur Sanders in the 2025 NFL Draft, they're going to want to surround him with as much talent as possible, which would make a lot of sense. The Raiders offense features an ascending star tight end in Brock Bowers and a steady presence at receiver in Jacoby Myers. However, the Raiders don't have an offensive weapon that can stretch the field vertically. Well, I mean, we do have that in, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm having a brain fart. I'll get back to that in a second. Well, the superstar playmaker recently took to social media to make a rather cryptic post saying, "It's time for me to go, coach," on his X account. That could mean anything, but there have been some speculation that Miami could jettison the aging Hill this coming offseason. The 30-year-old has seen a sharp decline in production in 2024 as he has caught 67 passes for 805 yards and 5 touchdowns. That comes on the heels of his racking up over 1,700 receiving yards in back-to-back campaigns. Hill made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 8 seasons in the NFL between 2016 and 2023, but that appears that he is in danger of missing the event this year. The Dolphins, having Jalen Waddle in their receiving corps, it may be wise to move Hill now to facilitate a quasi-rebuild. Brooke notes that Miami would save $12 million in cap space by trading Tyreek Hill with the post-June 1st designation. The question is whether or not the Raiders would be willing to take on the final 2 years of Hill's contract, which includes a $29.9 million in base salary in 2026. Las Vegas just dealt Davante Adams in October, so would replacing him with another declining wide receiver be a smart idea? The Raiders may be better served attempting to get younger, but there is no question that Hill would be tempting. Okay, so here's something that I want to throw out to you guys, and let me know down in the comments below how you feel about this. What if the Raiders were to go out and get Tyreek Hill in this trade, giving up a 3rd and a 5th round draft pick? You now have your blazing wide receiver down the field who is an absolute beast. And then maybe you go and you draft in the 2nd round another replacement for him, right? Somebody that can come in that is going to be the eventual X receiver in his stead when his career eventually declines after he's 32, 33 years old. How do you guys feel about that? Buzz-O-Matic says, why not draft Hunter? Well, if you're going to draft a quarterback, you're not going to get Hunter. That is for sure. Hunter will be off the board. He's not going to be a 2nd round guy. So that's why you wouldn't be able to draft Travis Hunter. And I know that sucks because I would love to see Travis Hunter with the Raiders. That would absolutely make my absolute life as a Raiders fan, right? Go back up here and do this real quick. There's something I got to put in here. Copy, boom, save. So what do you guys think, though? I know Bozmatic says waste of time. Him and Tucker. Trey Tucker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was having a brain fart and forgot Trey Tucker's name for half a second. Trey Tucker on the right side, and then you got the cheetah on the other side. I mean, it's a race. It's a foot race. I mean, it's an Olympic foot race, basically. Coach Jay says, man, as a Dolphins fan, I hope y'all take Tyreek. Give us that 1st or 2nd round pick. Not going to happen. No 30 year old wide receiver is worth a 1st round draft pick. It's just not going to happen. We got a 3rd round draft pick for the best wide receiver who was argued to be the best wide receiver at the time with the Jets. So there's no way that the Raiders would give up a 1st round draft pick for Tyreek Hill. Not even a second. Listen, you have to remember that the Dolphins are trying to get out from under his contract. So they're desperate to move off of him, especially seeing how he's not putting up 1,700 yards. So if the Dolphins got a 3rd and a 5th, they would count themselves as blessed. And remember, the Raiders have a 3rd round draft pick. So basically, we're trading Davante Adams for Tyreek Hill and a 5th round, right? So basically, we just gave up a 5th round. We didn't even give up a 3rd. That would definitely be something that would be interesting for sure. We got Raider Shep in here from Antioch, California. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. King V in here, Raiders, East LA. Yeti in here from Indiana. ED Mazing in here from Pennsylvania. We out of here entertainment, all the way from Sacktown. Used to live there. Great place. JT Douglas in the house. Even a slower hill is elite speed. Take him. I can't disagree with you, JT. I can't disagree with you, man. And you know what? There's something else that people just can't disagree with. And that's going to lead me into today's sponsor of the live stream. Guys, I am proud to announce that we have just hooked up with Southern New Hampshire University, SNHU. And one thing I can tell you personally, I never thought I would go to college. When I grew up in a contractor's family, I thought I would just swing a hammer my entire life. Never thought I would go to college. But at the age of 21, I decided I was going to put my nose in the books, and I went to college, and it changed my life. If this is not for you, or if it's for somebody else, it does not matter. This is what I want to tell you. If you are ready to unlock the potential and advance your career, today's sponsor of this video, Southern New Hampshire University, offers a revolutionary approach to higher education that adapts to your lifestyle and aspirations. So why choose SNHU? Accredited excellence. The university provides fully accredited college degrees, ensuring your education meets the highest standards. Flexibility at your fingertips with SNHU's online learning platform. You can study at your own pace, take quizzes during work breaks, learn comfortably from the comfort of your couch, really. Employer-focused education. This is what they're really, really good at. As an employer myself, I can attest that companies value knowledge and skills over an institution's name, which is why getting a degree from SNHU at thousands of dollars cheaper than a traditional college where you're going to go to a brick and mortar class. It doesn't matter to us employers. We just want to know that you have the information. It is affordable innovation. SNHU is at the forefront of making higher education more accessible and cost effective. So say goodbye to expensive on-campus living and embrace a more economical path to your degree. The SNHU Advantage Southern New Hampshire University understands that learning is a lifelong journey. Therefore, their innovative approach ensures that you can continue growing professionally without putting your life on hold. And it is personalized learning. Whether you're a working professional, a parent, someone looking to change careers, SNHU's flexible programs adapt to your unique situation. Cutting edge technology, leveraging advanced mobile learning platforms. SNHU's brings the classroom to you wherever you are. Now, I want you to take this next step, and it doesn't cost you a penny, a dime, nothing, just a couple of seconds of your time. I challenge you to explore the opportunities with this university and what SNHU offers by clicking the link in the description down below. Or I don't have the QR code on here. Normally I would have the QR code on here. I'll get that for next time, but click the link. It's the very top of the description. Click that link and fill out a brief, no obligation contact card to receive information about SNHU's courses and programs. Discover potential savings in your education, whether it's for yourself, a family member, your children. Investing a few moments to learn what this university can give you is the first step towards a brighter future. Remember, in today's fast-moving, fast-paced world, continuous learning is key to success. With SNHU, you're not just earning a degree, you're investing in yourself and opening doors to new opportunities. So don't let this chance pass you by. Take control of your education and the future with Southern New Hampshire University. Link is down in the description, guys. Go fill out that card. And, education, man, I'm looking at the link is going to take you to their sports management because that's what I'm really interested in. But they'll send you whatever you want. If you want accounting, you want something else, they'll send it to you. I really like the sports management course, so that's what I'm looking at right now. All right, back to the video. Now that we got the sponsorship done, we got Billy Davis in the house. What is going on? So what up, Raider Nation? Raider D. Salute to you, Billy. How you doing, man? Appreciate you being here. Jack Swaggart in the house. Good to see you, my man. I'd give up a third for him. You know what you're getting from him compared to a rookie you know nothing about. And let me just be honest with you guys, 100% here. We've got $118 million in cap space next year, effectively $111 million. Now, there's a little, there's some accounting that goes into that. So if you want to be an accountant, again, go hit the link down in the description, fill out the contact card, no obligation, and take one of their accounting courses over at SNHU, the sponsor of this live stream. That was a great segue, by the way. That was completely unplanned, so I appreciate you bringing that up. But here's the deal. Are you going to get a top-notch receiver that has the experience of a Tyreek Hill and the athleticism of a Tyreek Hill in the third round? No. And we gave up a third round to get rid of Davante Adams. Or we're getting a third round for Davante Adams. So in all actuality, we traded Davante Adams for Tyreek Hill. And if you go out and you get your quarterback, you're good to go. And remember that there's also going to be a T. Higgins in the free agency. So there are multiple possibilities for the Raiders to go out and get that true X receiver, in whether it's going to be T. Higgins or it's going to be a trade for the cheetah, the fastest guy in the NFL, the undefendable wide receiver. To me, it's a no-brainer that you give up a third-round draft pick that you literally got from the Jets. That's the pick that you're going to give up. That's the pick that you're going to give up. Now, David has a good point here. T. Higgins is the one to acquire, and I agree with you. I made a video about that because T. Higgins is younger. I think he's going to be 25 or 26 next season. So he's got plenty of legs left under him. So what would be a crazy thing? I'm going to put my genius hat on here because, again, the Raiders have $111 million in cap space. You give up a third-round pick for the cheetah, and you go into the free agency, and you get T. Higgins. Now, you have Cheetah on one side, T. Higgins on the other, Jacoby Myers in the slot, Trey Tucker as a rotational, and Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer as your tight ends. If you have any kind of a competent offensive coordinator and head coach, and you, even with Aiden O'Connell, how could you not put up 26 points a game average with that core? Now you go out and you get your quarterback of the future. You get your franchise quarterback, and you bring in a head coach, maybe along the lines of, I know I'm wearing his name out, but Ben Johnson. You've got all of the success written all over the Raiders. Long gone are the days of the Raiders being the laughingstock of the NFL because you have superstar power. You have a loaded offense. And once that defense is healthy again next year with Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby and Clavion Chase on, you bring back Malcolm Kuntz on a cheap one-year prove-it deal. Tyree Wilson moved to the inside. Jacorian Bennett back to being healthy, being good again. Jack Jones. You're back to being a playoff caliber team, in my opinion, if the Raiders were to make those moves. T. Higgins in the free agency, trade for the cheetah, and you get Cam Ward or Shadeur Sanders as your franchise quarterback with the number 1 or number 2 overall draft pick. I don't see how you lose with that. I don't see it. Now, Daniel brings up a point that a lot of people have been saying. We still need an O-line. Well, I would argue that the Raiders have an O-line. We do need a guard. I'll give you that. Unfortunately, Jordan Meredith is hurt and most likely is not going to play in this game, which means JPJ now is going to have to move back to guard, and we're going to have to put the bus center back in there. But Meredith has not given up a sack, and he has played exceptionally well, especially once Andre James was pulled out. and JPJ moved to center. Meredith's game has upgraded tremendously. So I'm very excited about this offensive line. Now, I think in the second round, you could move up and grab a good guard in the second round. You could trade back your second round pick, grab some more draft capital, and then pick up a guard, right? You could absolutely do that. But I think that JPJ at center, for sure, Meredith, DJ Glaze at right tackle, and Colt Miller at left tackle, your weak spot is really Dylan Parham, who hasn't played horrible, but he's not great. And I don't think Dylan Parham's ever going to be a great guard in the NFL. I think Dylan Parham is at best a rotational player. So you need to address your left guard situation. And really, it could be a right guard or a left guard. Because Meredith can play left or right. It doesn't matter. He's versatile in that way. Jack Swagger says he's still the scariest player on the field to prepare for. Got to have that type of weapon even as a decoy. I'm telling you right now, the article that I just read to you guys, it shows that his numbers are way down. I mean, he is 1,000 yards off of last season. That's true. However, that being said, you also got to take into the fact that Tua has missed half the season with a brain injury, basically. And that's his QB. So I still think Cheetah has plenty left in his tank. You know, I think that he has that swagger that you want. He knows he's one of the best, if not the best wide receiver out there. He's practically undefendable. If you make a mistake with the Cheetah, he's going to burn you. He's going to burn you because it's not even close. He's so much faster than all the DBs in the NFL that they have to play absolutely perfect in order to guard him. One little mistake and he's wide open, running for a touchdown. JJ says too much money allocated to one position at that point. So what do we want to do? Question. And this is no knock on you. It's a valid point. But what do you want to do? We have $118 million in cap space. Should we go and just get other second round and third round guys and bring them in and get them for a sweet deal of $6 million a year? Guys who are never going to win us games? Or do you go out and you get a superstar? Do you go out and get two superstars? You've got the money. We have the second best cap space for next year out of the entire NFL. And remember, we're going to have a rookie quarterback. And the Raiders are definitely going to get rid of Gardner Minshew. That's going to save up what? I think 10 million. That'll save us 10 million just cutting him. So for me personally, you put your money where your mouth is. Mark Davis keeps saying he wants a winning team. Put your money where your mouth is, Mark. Go out and get T. Higgins, who will be the replacement for Cheetah, and you trade for Cheetah. You now have one of the best wide receiving / tight end cores in all of the NFL. You surround your rookie with that kind of talent. Because if it's Shadeur Sanders, I can tell you right now he's starting week 1. He's not going to sit. He's the most NFL-ready quarterback in this draft. I don't think he's the best quarterback, but he is the most NFL-ready. I think Cam Ward is the better quarterback long-term. I think he has a higher upside. I think Cam Ward has something special about him. Not to say that Shadeur doesn't, but I think Shadeur's floor is so high, but his ceiling is a bit low. He kind of is what he is. Whereas when you watch Cam Ward play, this dude's got superhero written all over him. He might as well just be wearing a Superman cape when he goes out there to play. And that reminds me of somebody in our division that we all hate, who sounds like Kermit the Frog. That's what Cam gives you without the annoying voice. I'm just saying, put your money where your mouth is. You go and you spend the money. Because at worst, Tyreek Hill's contract is only 2 more years. That's at worst. So within 2 years, his contract's off the board. It's done. The Dolphins have already eaten the majority of his contract. I understand in 2026, he's going to get over $26 million. I get that. And, we'll see. We'll see. If he's still cheetah, even if he's cheetah at 95% in 2026, I'll take that all day long. Because tell me right now, if you play Madden, JJ, if you play Madden, my brother, if you play Madden and you can trade for any player on Madden that you want without creating magical players, 99 overalls everywhere, but you can actually trade for a player, you mean to tell me you wouldn't trade for Tyreek Hill on your Madden roster? Of course you would. Everybody would. He's the fastest wide receiver in the NFL, and he's good. He's a beast. There's nobody like him in the NFL right now. JT, what's going on? Jalen Waddle is also going to have a 1,000-yard season, so even with Tua out, you can't say his low numbers are Cheetah's fault. Yeah, like I said, I don't think that everything is on Tyreek Hill as to why his numbers are down. There's a lot of different factors that has happened to Miami this year as to why and I think he's even missed a couple of games from his own injury. I think it was a hamstring or something. So, I mean, when your quarterback's out, that's the guy chucking you the ball. That makes a big, big difference, right? Daniel says, I like Cam also. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to sell you, roses in the sky. Cam Ward has some holes in his game that he's going to have to clean up, and one of them is playing on platform. He's a little bit raw, but a lot of people are saying he's raw like Caleb Williams, where he has a hard time playing on platform. He's better off platform, off script. I would argue that he's actually improved a lot this year playing on script, on platform, in the pocket. But he does tend to like to get out of the pocket. But here, I don't blame him, because he has such an uncanny ability to sense a sack coming and just like a twitch in him, and he just takes off and he gets out of these sacks in the weirdest ways. That's a guy that you want on the team, right? For me, he's kind of like a Josh Allen, just a better suntan. So who wouldn't take a Josh Allen right now? So Shadeur is going to come with a lot of fame. He's going to come with a lot of hype. And we got to be ready for that. You got to be ready for it, because you just don't know how that's going to translate in that locker room. Because remember, he's a rookie, and you have bona fide superstars on this team. And if he comes in acting like his crap don't stink, that's going to be problematic for the Raiders locker room. Lou Flores says, we win a game or two and no QB in this draft. That is a very true statement. We have 3 games left. We win 1, and all likelihood we're picking at 6 or 7. And I broke this down in my last live stream of how that works with strength schedule. I'm not going to break it down again. We'll do that again when we get to the last game of the season to see where we're sitting. But Point is, if we win one more game, we're going to be at between picks 4 and 7, depending on how other teams that are crappy right now shake things out. If we win 2 games, look out, man. We're picking pick 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we really, I mean, we would be out of any superstar player at that point, because in my opinion, this draft class is not the most exciting. Like last year, we had Jaden Daniels, we had Caleb Williams, we had Drake May, we had Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, a couple of fantastic tackles, offensive tackles, Fashanu, Fuaga, right? LA's picked up their guy. I forget his name now. I mean, they just had some absolute studs. In my opinion, we've got in this draft, obviously your 2 quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Shadeur Sanders, and then you got Tatario McMillan. You have Travis Hunter, wide receiver. I know Travis Hunter can play both, but he'll most likely play wide receiver in the NFL. He's going to get the most money doing so, and he's going to be dominant in that as well. And then Abdul Carter. And then after that, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Some of these guys could be beasts. Some of them couldn't. But last year, like everybody in the top 15 picks of the draft are all beasts in the NFL right now, especially Brock Bowers. So for me, I would have loved the Raiders to have the number 1 overall draft pick last year and get Jaden Daniels, but we don't have that now. If we fall out of the top 7, if we fall to 8, I mean, Abdul Carter's off the books. McMillan is gone. Hunter is gone. Probably Ashton Genty is gone. And both quarterbacks are gone. So after that, I'm just like, there's some definite prospects there. But if you're not getting a quarterback at that point, honestly, if you could trade away your first round pick, to me, that's what I would do. I would trade for next year's first round pick and whatever else you could get for it, and just trade out of the first round completely. Because I don't see a bona fide superstar outside of pick 7 or 8 in this year's draft. Now, there's some players who are going to be starters. There's going to be some good players. But the superstars that we had in last year's draft that are proving to be superstars right now, already in their rookie seasons, I don't get that feeling this time around. Hi, hello says could have had Jalen Carter. LOL. We got Wilson. Yep. And I mean, I didn't understand that pick. Why do you never spend a 7th overall pick on a dude who is coming off a major foot ankle injury? You're spending a 7th round pick on that. That was just stupid. Now listen, that is not to knock Tyreek, because he has actually been playing fairly decent ball. Not superstar ball, but he's been playing decent ball. Better, much better than he did last year. So I don't want to knock him all the way. I do think that he needs to just change his game to become a defensive tackle, to become a Chris Jones. That's what he needs to do. He can play edge. If you need him to, you can mix things up with him, but primarily he needs to be a defensive tackle, because he doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the get off, but he does have that freakish strength to where he can take on those big NFL guards. But he doesn't have the technique to be taken on elite tackles. So I think you move him to the inside. You've got him next to Christian Wilkins, who's going to garner a lot of attention. And then Max Crosby on the outside, Malcolm Kuntz, Chase on, whoever it's going to be opposite of that. And you go from there. right? Abel says, T Hill, a Raider, crying emoji. I think that's a crying emoji. Jeremiah, what's going on, man? Jeremiah in the house. No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We were just talking like, the article that I read at the beginning of this, if you missed that, scroll back, watch the beginning. I read the article about the Raiders giving up a third and a fifth round draft pick to acquire Tyreek the Cheetah Hill. What do you feel about that, Jeremiah? What say you? Would you be all right with the Raiders giving up a third and a fifth to acquire the Cheetah? And keeping in mind that we're going to be drafting our franchise quarterback so long as we don't win any more games anyway. But what do you guys think about Dillon Gabriel and the rumor that the Raiders are planning on Dillon Gabriel if they're not able to get Shadeur or Cam? That Dillon Gabriel has impressed them. I actually see somebody talking about Dillon Gabriel. Let me pull this up. We Out of Here Entertainment says, okay, say we win 1 or 2 games and we lose that first pick and we get the 6th or 7th. We pick up Genty in the 2nd round and O-line in the 3rd round, Dillon Gabriel. Oh, you're saying pick up Genty with the 1st round pick, 2nd round go offensive line, 3rd round go Dillon Gabriel. I don't think Dillon Gabriel goes to the 3rd. I think the knock on Dillon Gabriel is his height. But as far as him being a quarterback, the dude is really good. Noah, I would definitely do that trade. Agreed. I mean, what's the downside of it? There isn't one. I mean, unless he got hurt, then that would be a downside. But that's with any trade that you do. JT, even in a loss to Syracuse, Cam Ward was 25 of 36, 350 yards and 2 touchdowns. They said Syracuse slowed him down. We need that kind of slow. I agree. And the fact that they left Miami out of the playoff is an absolute embarrassment to college football. Because you did leave out the best offense in college football and arguably the best quarterback out of the playoff. Let's be 100% honest. The games that Miami lost were like 45 to 41 or something. Because Miami's got no defense. Their defense is terrible. Cam Ward had to win all of those games, sometimes coming down from more than 20 points in the second half to win those games because his defense just laid down and died on every single series. So for me, that's one of the big things about Cam Ward that I really like is he does put on that Superman cape. And he wears it pretty well. And he does a hell of a job doing it. A heck of a job. So I'm definitely more high on Cam Ward than I am Shadeur Sanders. But I also know that at the end of the day, as I told you guys months ago from my insider source with the Raiders, that Mark Davis was very high on Shadeur Sanders. And Tom Brady, as we all know, has a relationship with him as well. So you now have the majority owner and the minority owner, both of them liking, loving, wanting some Shadeur Sanders in silver and black. Jeremiah says 3rd and a 5th, split the difference and give a 4th. I mean, yeah, it's possible, but I think that Miami would require a 3rd because the Raiders won't be the only suitor. And they'll be smart about it. They won't wait till mid-season. like we did with Devontae. If we would have traded Devontae last offseason, we could have possibly got a late first round draft pick for him. If not, then at least a second round, an earlier second round draft pick. But no, we waited. He didn't have a great year. Wasn't a lot of trade value there. You know, desperation move. We were lucky to get a third round draft pick out of him. But I think that Miami, there's still going to be a lot to love and appreciate about the Cheetah in the offseason. There's going to be more than one team. There's going to be more than probably 5 teams. I would say 5 to 7 teams will take a very serious interest in approaching Miami for a trade. So I think a third is what we would have to do. Raiders Rebel salute. What's going on, my man? See you in here. I see you've been putting out that good content, brother. If you guys don't know Raiders Rebel, he is also another Raiders content creator. Go and check him out. He puts out some really quality content, man. Love having you here. Missed you, man. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you are doing good. Guys, show my boy Raiders Rebel some love. Swimmy says, don't mind Gabriel. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you get Dylan Gabriel in the second round, I won't be super upset because he is a fantastic quarterback. He reads the field like a surgeon. My only issue with him is he's like 5'9". And that can be a difficult situation in the NFL when you have guys towering over you by a foot. That makes it hard to see over the line. It also makes it hard to throw over the line. Guys in the NFL are just bigger. Raiders Rebel is only 5 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark, guys. Go and show him some love right now. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers and get this man monetized by hitting that 1,000. Hopefully you got that 4,000 hours by now. That would be awesome. Little Tiger Raider says, Dylan Gabriel played with Jackson Powers Johnson. He did. Or did he? Let me think about that though. Now I'm second guessing myself. I know Bo Nix did. I think Dylan transferred there this year, didn't he? Michael says Gabriel's a left-handed QB. Is that a good sign? I mean, for me, I don't like lefties. I don't like lefties because it changes up everything on your how you got to run your offense. But lefties have been successful in the NFL, including the Raiders. So I'm not opposed to it. I just don't like his height. His height is a concern for me. I've seen short quarterbacks struggle in the NFL. Doug Flutie is probably the only one I've seen had any success, but again, he didn't have a Super Bowl either. But he was hard to stop. That dude was like a pinball. Martin says, why not draft Sanders with the first overall and trade back into the first round and draft Travis Hunter? I made that statement that the Raiders should seriously try to do that. I made a video about that. I don't think that would happen. I don't think, because there are teams who need Travis Hunter more than they need draft picks. And so the Patriots, they're not going to budge off of a superstar in the making like Travis Hunter. Guys like Travis Hunter don't come along ever. A guy who is dominant as a receiver and a corner. That just doesn't happen. So I don't think anybody would do that if Travis Hunter's still on the board. I think you could do that for Ashton Genty, because I think Ashton Genty could fall down to picks 10, 11, 12, and maybe even 13. And so if he's still on the board at pick 10, you make a trade for him. You trade back up and you go get him. I know that the average running back lifespan is only 4 years in the NFL. There's a misnomer to that point, though. The really good running backs, the off-the-charts running backs, have a much longer lifespan in the NFL. But they take all the running backs together, and that's how they come up with that 4-year average. But on average, your average quarterback in the NFL isn't all that great. And so when their numbers start dropping after the 4th year, you're already rotating them out and grabbing some fresh meat in there. But when you have a superstar a superstar running back, you're going to play him 6, 7, 8 years, possibly even 9 or 10, depending how healthy he can stay. So I would be okay with that. I would be okay with trading back in and grabbing Ashton Jeanty. Again, we haven't seen anybody like him come out of college pretty much since Barry Sanders. Right? I mean, he almost broke Barry Sanders' record. Tony, to ask a 5'11 guy to look over a 6'6 lineman and be on the money over the middle with throws is crazy, in my opinion. I agree and I disagree. I agree with your statement of that being difficult. I disagree on you saying he's 5'11. I don't believe that dude is 5'11. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Everybody lies in sports about their size. I could almost guarantee you that Dylan Gabriel's 5'10", possibly 5'9 3/4. Raiders Rebel, Ashton Jeanty's guys don't come along every day either. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The only reason why I think Ashton Jeanty should be a top 5 pick, but he won't be because he's a running back. But if you're looking at the best athletes to come out of this draft, in my opinion right now, it's Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, and Ashton Jeanty. Those are the 3 best athletes, in my opinion. One's a defensive player, one's an offense and a defensive player, and the other is just a running back. But those 3 guys are the best athletes to come out of this draft right now, in my opinion. And so Ashton Jeanty should be a top 5 pick, but he's a running back, so he won't be. And so that's why I'm saying, like, if you want to load up this offense, if the problem is us not scoring points on this offense, and you want to load up this offense, you go and you make a trade for Cheetah. Maybe you go and you get T. Higgins in free agency. You draft your quarterback, Shadeur Sanders or Cam Ward. I hope it's Cam Ward, but I'm sure it probably won't be. And then maybe you trade back into pick number 10 if he's still on the board, and you grab Ashton Jeanty. Because if a team was looking at drafting Ashton Jeanty, I think they would be more inclined to trade out of that pick simply because he's a running back than a team being inclined to trade out of a Travis Hunter. Raphael, make a trade for who? I'm saying that we trade back into the first round if Ashton Jeanty's still available at pick 10, 11, 12, 13. And then you trade for Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins. At the beginning of the stream, I read the article that proposed that the Raiders are on top of the list as trade candidates for the Dolphins to get out from underneath Tyreek Hill's contract. He has 2 years left, and the Raiders have the cap room. Now, I know that this is some fantasy football stuff when you're talking about having Cheetah on one side, T. Higgins on the other side, Jacoby Myers in your slot, Trey Tucker coming in on special stuff, and Brock Bowers just eating everything up in the middle of the field as a tight end, and then Cam Ward or Shadeur Sanders as your franchise quarterback, and then Ashton Genty as your running back. I know that's like a Madden fantasy roster, but it's reality because it all could absolutely happen. JT says, D, are you going live after this? I'm live right now. What are you talking about? Yeah, Drew Aller's out. He's staying in school. Which I'm not sold on Drew Aller anyway. Raphael, I am not sold on Cam Ward. Okay. Listen, like I said, I'm not going to sell roses in the sky when it comes to Cam Ward. Last year, I was blowing the trumpet for Jaden Daniels. I was crowning him king, superstar quarterback. And he's showing he's got that. I don't feel the same way about Cam Ward. If it was Manning coming out this year, I'd probably feel a little bit more excited. However, that being said, I do believe Cam Ward is the best quarterback in this draft class. I think Cam Ward has the most upside of any quarterback in this draft class. I think Jalen Milroe is the best athletic quarterback in this draft class, but Jalen Milroe would be a major project. Major project. And speaking of projects, by the way, we've also hooked up with Fanatics. And you can now shop straight from this live stream just by going down into the shopping cart down below. And if you don't see the shopping cart for some odd reason, as tend to happen, if you just go into the description, all of the Raiders gear that your heart's desire should be there. I've picked out a selection of some of my favorite stuff from their offerings at Fanatics. Click on any of it. It'll take you over there. They have a great sale going on right now, and you can save yourself some bucks. And if you order fast enough, you might even be able to get it just in time for the big holiday coming up. And it goes to support this channel. So I appreciate you. If you're going to buy your Raiders gear, go to any one of my most recent Raiders videos or live streams, click on that shopping cart, go over to Fanatics, pick anything in the store that you want over there, and I will get a commission without it costing you a single penny. And like I said, they do have a really good deal going on right now because of the holidays. So you don't want to miss out on that if you want to get your Raiders gear, because, you got to rep the Raiders, baby, even when we're repping the first round draft pick by tanking. Raider High, what's going on? Salute to you, brother. What's your thoughts on Brady Cook? I haven't really looked into him, so I don't have a whole lot on him. I need to. It's on my list of things that I need to look into, but I don't want to offer an opinion on him when I haven't really gone deep into the, studies on him. Get back at with me. I'll put that higher on the list of to do. I'll keep scouting him. Raiders Rebel says, I believe Brady Cook will surprise some people in the combine. We'll see. The problem with the combine is a lot of guys aren't even doing the combine like they used to because they don't need to. They got the NIL money. They're just, I'm not going to do it. So the ones that do it, it's like, it's like a practice. I can't really judge somebody off a combine. Really, with combine for me and like the analysts that I watch, they're not even looking at, oh, wow, look how great he throws the ball. And, oh, he hit that receiver right in stride. And, oh, he's got a good deep ball. And, oh, his timing is impeccable. No, what they're really looking at is, his medicals. They're looking at his 40 time. They're looking at his bench. They're looking at his measurables, not how good he throws the ball, because you've got a crap ton of tape on these guys and how good they can throw the ball from in real game situations, right? A lot of these quarterbacks now and all these athletes, they're staying in school longer because of the NIL deals. So there's footage on these guys galore. It's really, you're looking at their measurables and their medicals. That's where the combine is really important. That's why I don't even pay a whole lot of attention to the combine as far as watching a quarterback throw the ball. I mean, they do the same thing in pro day. Not much different. Hillbilly Raider says, draft Hunter, bring in Darnold. I mean, Darnold's had the best year of his career. But even then, that's still like average in the NFL. It's not superstardom. Jared Reisner says, I have a feeling we are going to win on Sunday. We shouldn't be playing AOC if we are tanking for the first pick. Yeah, I mean, listen, Jordan Meredith is out. Andre James is going to be back at center. JPJ's got to move over to guard to fill in for Jordan Meredith. I think Andre James plays like Andre James plays, which is terrible. And AOC gets sacked at least 6 or 7 times. We lose the game. Jack, what's going on? Been a while, my man. At Hillbilly, salute my Sacramento 916 brother. Ernesto, not sold on Shadeur, straight up diva, showing off his Rolex and shoving ball boys with his brother and referees. Draft Hunter and get Gabriel in the second round if he's still there. Well, here's what would happen, I think, if the Raiders had the number 1 overall draft pick and they don't draft the quarterback. I think Raider Nation would riot. I think Raider Nation would go absolutely berserk. A large majority of the Raider Nation would go crazy. Noah, yo, why you just sound like Trump, RN LOL? I don't know. Did I just sound like Trump or something? Make the Raiders great again. I don't do a good Trump impersonation. I don't know how to do it. Like, he has a very unique thing. I'm not good at doing impersonations anyway. Jack says, time to start Bradley. I mean, if you want to tank, yes, you start Bradley. For sure. I would agree with that. I don't think Bradley's any good. I'm just being honest. I don't think he's that good. I watched him practice in person. I don't think he's that great. I could be wrong. In a real game situation, maybe he flourishes. However, if he does that, now you don't have first round draft pick or first overall draft pick. Raider Hillbilly says, I'm from Anaheim. I just like that wide receiver they got out there. He's a baller. Who? Which one? Man, let me try to do a Trump impression. You got put me on the spot here. What? Something like, you're just a bad reporter. No, I can't do it. I'm terrible. That was a horrible Trump impersonation. You're a terrible reporter. Terrible. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. I don't know. I'm terrible at it, man. I cannot do impersonations to save my life. Raiders Rebel says Shadeur has done all that and claims to be a Christian is the funniest part. Has done all what? The showing off like the Rolex stuff? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. We were all young once, right? I used to show off. I know I love showing off. I never had a Rolex, but my thing was muscle cars, right? I soup up my muscle cars, loud exhaust, all that stuff. Pull up at a stoplight, see some chick or something, rev up that exhaust, show off. I don't know. That's just what young guys do. So I don't really like hold that part against him. Um, is it classy to show off your wealth to people? No, it's not. Right? It's a level of immaturity. And that's one of the things that does concern me about Shadeur is he has a level of immaturity. Now you bring him to a city like Las Vegas, he could quickly get himself into some hot water real fast. Real fast. It is not you if you're coming to Las Vegas, you have to have a very solid head on your shoulders. Again, I think that he is ready for all of that because he's grown up in it. So I think he has a good head on his shoulders. But yeah, I mean, showing off your wealth to people, stuff like that. The ball boy situation, in my opinion, the ball boy started it. Now, you're a superstar quarterback going into the NFL. Should you be even responding to that? No. You should have some more poise. But listen, in my opinion, if the Raiders end up with Cam Ward, I'm happy. If the Raiders end up with Shadeur Sanders, I'm happy. Why am I happy? Because we finally have a franchise quarterback that is not questionable for at least the next 3 to 4 years. Now, if the guy that we draft turns out to be a complete and utter bust, well, that's going to suck for 3 to 4 years, but at least the conversation is done for 3 to 4 years. Because all the way back with Derek Carr, everybody was saying we need to go get a real franchise quarterback. No matter what Carr did, good or bad, we got to go get a real franchise quarterback. Well, we get rid of Carr, we end up with Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy Falopolo. And that didn't work, so we end up with Aiden O'Connell, who I think he's had a really rough time. The kid got a shot, made his best of it as a rookie, impressed some people, and then he gets benched for Gardner Minshew. And then when he gets a shot again, he breaks his damn thumb. And then when he gets his shot again, damn near breaks his leg. So he has had just a rough go of it. I wish he had a better shot, a better chance to show what he can do. But at the same time, I don't want to be, 2-15 again next year. I don't. The Raiders need to make some serious roster moves this year, and that includes a quarterback. Now, I think that you keep Aiden O'Connell, one, because he's super cheap as a third-round quarterback, and two, because he is a great backup quarterback. And he's a great teammate. And you go and you draft your quarterback. With that being said, guys, I do just want to send one more shout out to today's sponsor of the live stream, and that is Southern New Hampshire University, where you guys can get your education at a fraction of the cost of going to traditional brick and mortar and get the same exact accredited degree. Link is down in the description. If you click on that link, it's going to take you to a contact card. Fill out that contact card. If you fill out that contact card, they're going to send you some free information. Now, the thing that I'm interested in is sports management, but they got all kinds of stuff over there from, if you want to be an accountant, you want to do other stuff, whatever it is, business, economics, they've got all the classes over there. Go and fill it out. Just do yourself this one favor. Click on the link in the description. It's the very first link in the description. Fill out the card and just see what they got to offer. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can unsubscribe if you don't like what they send you. But give yourself the opportunity. And if you have a kid going to school soon and you want some alternatives to the overpriced brick and mortar style college and universities to get the same degree. Go and check them out. Link is in the description. So happy and proud to have Southern New Hampshire University as a sponsor to the Raider D podcast. And as always, as we end tonight, you know how we do this. Raiders just win in 2026, baby. Or 2025. 2025. Oh my God. No, I don't want to jinx us. I don't want to jinx us. Just win in 2025, baby. See y'all. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on the next video. And much love to all of y'all. Have a great night.